Hey everyone, how is it going? We're sitting here with Alfred Lee as part of basically one of our upcoming campaigns, which is basically to educate people about crypto, the different projects out there, some of the initiatives that are being launched within the blockchain community. And actually with me as our maiden guest is Alfred Lee from Blockz Academy. So Alfred, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm great. This is fun. I mean, this is like the first time we're talking like this, right?
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we've known each other like months, and
I knew you from one of your old projects too, and it's crazy just how quickly this moves.
We got some mutual friends, and yeah, we've known each other for a while. Although my portfolio goes shit, still great.
Absolutely. Well, one thing for sure is that a lot of people have that problem right now.
Yeah. I mean, we are not losing money, but we are losing the profit. But you know, it still hurt.
Oh, absolutely. The great thing is these things come in cycles, of course. So, what does Blockz Academy do?
Well, basically, we are trying to build a community around the world. I mean, we are focusing on the South Asia and Asia, particularly in Vietnam and in Hong Kong and in Philippines as well. So. Okay. Yeah, we're trying to build a crypto community to share the knowledge and trying to be the insider of ourselves.
That's really cool. And what made you focus on these specific countries? Of course, you know, this particular area, Vietnam, Philippines. What made you center in on those particular countries?
Yeah, if you realize the trends, it's kind of like, I have to mention the play-to-earn things, the GameFi. You know, loads of GameFi's play-to-earn projects, they are, I mean, most of the user of the gamers, they are based in those areas. Right. So I definitely see that's a trend, although there's a loads of problem coming up. Yeah, that's why I want to focus on these kind of area first.
Okay, and what do you think has really kicked off this GameFi trend? Because you hear quite a lot about Web 3.0, you hear quite a lot about GameFi, but actually very few of the projects actually execute.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I consider myself as a semi-gamer, but you know, a lot of so-called pay-to-earn games in the market, they suck. Basically, we can hardly consider them as a game as well. They are not play-to-earn, they are pay-to-earn, I would say. We have to pay in advance and not sure if we can get the return back or not. So I mentioned some AAA games in my upcoming videos. I look forward to those games instead of the games nowadays. Most of them, they are not games. Basically, they're just a web page and we just click something. Yeah, they spam the user with advertisement, that's all I can say. But GameFi and play-to-earn will definitely be the trend.
Absolutely. And given that it's kind of being built on top of Web 3.0, or Web 3.0 is starting to be integrated into it. Where do you think that's going to take us? Because you have this amazing development, this amazing continuous evolution within the blockchain and crypto space. But how exactly do you see that developing over the coming
Web 3.0, right? The Web 3.0 thing, frankly speaking, I mean, I don't totally agree with Jack Dorsey, but I can see his point. Like Web 3.0 right now, most of them, they are, I don't want to use this term, but it's kind of like a gimmick instead of the real thing, at least at this moment. Because, you know, I'm all in crypto, but I don't see there's a point I have to pay for it, pay for the gas fee when I can enjoy do it through the Google or through the Facebook things. Although they are not free as well. You know, I can hardly see that can draw a lot of internet user to become of the crypto user. Yeah, it takes a very long road. It takes years probably.
One of the things that I like about it is that when you simplify it, say the old way of interacting with the internet was enter your username, enter your password, and continue. Now it's log in with Facebook, log in with Google.
Yeah, we're the product itself.
Exactly.
We're the product,
And then the 3.0 version.
3.0 version basically is a blockchain internet, but yeah, it takes years. Probably it takes years to convert those users, even convert me to them. Although a lot of prototype like Solana or the Neo prototype, we don't have to pay a very high gas fee, but still we have to pay. So this is hard for the traditional user to convert them to the crypto space.
So definitely a couple of interesting points made there, Alfred. Do you think that actually, I suppose really a very simple question would be, what do you think needs to be done to educate the public, for example, about GameFi projects, about, for example, Web 3.0, and how does Blockz Academy kind of fit into that overall rubric?
Well, the point is, I would love to make all the video about GameFi, but I don't want to just I don't want to just use the teaser or use the video clip to show, hey, this is a AAA game, that is a AAA game. That's kind of bullshit, you know. We have to wait for really, at least I have to agree that kind of game is worth to recommend to the gamer or to the people who really pay for it. Well, frankly speaking, I don't see one in the market, but I look forward to the big times, to Etherfield, or there's a zombie game coming up from AMC Studio, if I remember correctly. So those three games, I'm looking forward to it. In terms of how to educate people about GameFi, they have to understand what blockchain is first and how cryptocurrency and NFT works in this whole ecosystem. Otherwise, it can be confusing. Because it kind of like a scam if you convince people to, hey, you just play my game and you can earn your living. So they have to understand the whole ecosystem behind it. Like, at least they have to understand the NFT and how blockchain works. So, you know, I'm more focusing on these part until most of my audience, they all understand, or yeah, go for the next one.
And what do you think? Because you've been involved in this industry for a long time. I mean, I've been involved in this industry for a long time. What do you think really holds people back from making the plunge into crypto?
Wow, good question. I mean, if you know, have you ever been into some situation that you convince someone, hey, I think this is an opportunity. You should buy Bitcoin, or you should buy this kind of altcoin, and they kind of like, hey, you must be trying to trick me or something.
Correct.
The problem about cryptocurrency and the blockchain whole ecosystem is there are lots of rug pull projects, to be honest. That's to scare people out.
It's very much like the ICO craze back in
2017. Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Because actually, we're doing a launchpad, for example. And one of the big things is you'd be surprised at the level of due diligence you need to do. Very thorough KYB, very thorough KYC. You need to thoroughly review and examine the tokenomics underpinning the project. You need to look at what they're hoping to achieve and actually how far into their development they are. Because a lot of empty projects are out there selling an idea with nothing more than a white paper. And the white paper might look great.
Right now, they don't even need a white paper, just need a deck, and then they just, hey, we got a great team, and we can.
That's it. Like they always say, for example, oh yeah, nobody ever reads a white paper. If you're putting money into a project, surely you should be putting the time in to understand the project and actually really review it, and the white paper is really an integral part of that.
Yeah, and the OTC stuff, and people they can't buy the first Bitcoin in a decent way. So
the fees are crazy.
Yeah, that's
a big problem.
You know, that related to the things we all don't want to talk about is the regulation things.
Correct.
So I would say it's a necessary evil for the regulation, but still. For example, you know, Blockz Academy, one of our target audience, they are from Hong Kong, and Hong Kong, they just released some kind of, they try to supervise the stablecoin in there, but it is just weird because, you know, for the safety point of view, USDT or USDC should be the safest one from my point of view. At least they are backed by the USD, right? But the kind of UST, those algorithm based stablecoin, I don't think they're able to supervise them. So
it would be very difficult to do so.
Yeah, but that kind of thing is even more dangerous compared to USDT or USDC.
Correct.
So it is kind of weird.
Well, USDT, USDC are very good insofar as they just opt a pay-in, pay-out mechanism, basically on-ramp, off-ramp. The issue is that actually quite a lot of the financial institutions don't necessarily want to actually work with cryptocurrency firms.
Yeah, sure.
Now, luckily, I was in a very fortunate position from before, whereby I was actually able to develop very close relationships with regulators, with banks, you know, even with Visa. One of my former companies were onboarded onto the FinTech Fast Track program, whereby we could actually become primary card issuers with Visa. But you need to have a real life use case. Visa, for example, will not work with you. Just as an example, if you're a GameFi unregulated project,
if no one's gonna use your coin or use the stable coin, the project is useless.
Absolutely. And it's just important to make sure that basically institutions do their due diligence, banks do their due diligence, and it's very important that customers also do their due diligence. And to be able to make sure that really the what they're getting involved in, what they're trying to do, what they're aiming to do, and also to be very aware of what your risk tolerance is.
Yeah,
that's a very big
I
thing.
always mention that. Don't, if you can't sleep at night because your portfolio down 50%, it simply means you're overbuying.
Correct.
Yep.
And the best bit of advice to always give is understand that whatever you invest in, it can go to zero.
I was gonna
if
say,
you're comfortable with that outcome,
then
you're okay.
you should invest yourself. Invest in yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And really, it's something that gains interest over time because you combine that self-investment alongside continued experience and development. And it's amazing. When you look back, you tend to look at how the dots connect. But you can never do it with foresight. You can only do it with hindsight. And then you can look at how everything kind of comes together through all the hardships and everything.
Well, it's true. Yep. Hold on for your dear life, huh?
Absolutely. But that's the big thing about it, that really central banks are starting to regulate, that the regulatory bodies are starting to get involved. But in a lot of cases, it's very difficult for them to really know how to regulate crypto. True. Hong Kong Monetary Authority, for example, they recently had the discussion paper on
they had a discussion paper last year, which was released by SFC, if I remember correctly, and this year they released, in 2000. Last year is released by HKMA, and the year USD, from my point of view, is even more dangerous. The algorithm-based stablecoin.
Absolutely, but the overall thing, and actually one of the big issues that I have with these types of government-led publications, there's seldom follow-up action because they just don't know how to do it. They say that regulating crypto is like, for example, trying to regulate, we'll say, water, or trying to regulate air, or trying to regulate physics. It doesn't really work like that.
I remember they try to supervise those things by only allowing the PI to invest in the crypto, but that's the most unfair thing I've ever heard, because the cryptocurrency, the blockchain concept, basically is everyone can be involved in the
correct. And that's the big thing about it. Actually, when you look at the actual blockchain concept, the cryptocurrency concept, and you look at all these different things. But what I anticipate is actually that the OTC desks that you see all over Hong Kong, those will continue to operate.
Yep.
That there probably will be no significant changes. The only thing that might very well impact Hong Kong's role in that front would be the PRC policies on cryptocurrency.
Yep, by all means, we all support the government regulation, whatever the house is gonna do, just regulate or supervise. By all means, we all highly support. Just regulate in a decent way instead of harming the crypto holders. A lot of retail investors at the moment, they already had crypto in their pocket.
Correct.
So what happens if you're trying to only allow the PI to invest? How they're gonna trade those out, or how how they're gonna deal with the crypto they're holding?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you'll see that on various websites. For example, FTX for a long time, I'm not sure if it's changed, but that whereby they didn't onboard non-accredited investors in Hong Kong as an example. So absolutely, these things are very, very prevalent within the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
Especially as they try to remain on the good books, shall we say?
They are.
But like we said, it's just like it's a really exciting time to be in this industry. There are just huge numbers of exciting projects starting to emerge.
2017 ICO, 2018. It's a bear market.
Bull run. Massive bear run.
And 2019 there's a STO concept coming up. Correct. And then DeFi, GameFi right this year. Correct. And NFT. Well, it changed extremely fast. That's the most exciting industry I've ever been.
Correct. It's just all about adaptability, really.
Yep, indeed.
And really just moving with the times, because the people who tended to do well within the blockchain field were the ones who constantly changed, the ones who adapted, and the ones who really made the most of
money, basically.
I
mean, for the audience who is, still think about how they're gonna make profit in crypto industry. My only advice is stick to this industry. You will find your shot sooner or later.
Correct. And I suppose it's the same thing with any industry, really. It's a matter of finding where you fit
Yeah.
within that industry.
That's true.
For example, some might be better on the quantitative side, others might be better within the marketing promotion side, others might be better from a personnel management standpoint, whereas actually they might not interact with the blockchain very often.
Yeah, we are still in the very, very early stage.
Absolutely. And that's the exciting thing, that we are still in the very early stage. In your case, you're very much about focusing on getting people educated within the cryptocurrency
Yeah, the
industry.
community, yeah.
Correct.
Community,
And what we're doing is focusing on accessibility and actually the provision of a platform
Nice.
that can basically do the launchpad, that can basically do the staking, that can actually do copy trading, social trading, quant trading, stocks, options, warrants,
Stock?
CBDCs. Oh, there's a lot coming up, man.
No, yeah.
But they can be traded on the platform, and that's a really cool thing about it. And it's one of those things that we're really excited about building, that we're really excited about kind of moving forward and just making it happen. And that's why we're really happy to be working with the likes of Blockz Academy, because actually they're a platform with a very clearly defined, well-structured goal, and it's about providing daily content, really.
Yeah, almost daily. Almost
Correct.
daily, yep.
And it's a fantastic thing to see. But absolutely, so
Well, it's fun. I mean, this is like the first time we talk like this.
actually that's correct.
We usually just grab a beer to meet each other and
Absolutely.
talking about some bullshit stuff.
No, it's cool because actually it's the reason why I like doing these, and the reason I want to be able to do these. It's not to give myself
Showing
a
your
platform.
true color to the user. Or
Well, that's one part, and the other thing is, I mean, I don't really want to be the one speaking all the time. I want them to hear from different projects, because the overall emphasis should be on getting a greater understanding of the industry as a whole, so you can make your best informed decisions. And you can only really do that by actually hearing from the people who are involved in the industry. Now, while, for example, I can speak all the time, but you're only hearing one side of the story. Why not hear more sides of the story?
Yep.
Why not get other people from different projects? And actually, what you'll also see is that we'll also be talking to people from within the project, including our COO, our CTO. They would be fantastic guests. And actually, when they start hearing our CTO speak,
They are. Both
it's
of them
going to
are-
be a treat.
Both of them are interesting person.
Absolutely. Our COO, Fred, of course, is going through a bit of a horrid time as a Manchester United supporter alongside me. So so Monday mornings at work tend to be kind of a joint therapy session.
Yep. Nice. Good for you.
Absolutely.
Good for you.
But that's a great thing. It's just like there's so many projects, and just be sure to basically find where you fit within it. That's the big thing about it.
I mean, everyone will sooner or later will find their place in this industry. You
That's
know,
correct.
Yeah, it's expanding fast.
Absolutely. Alfred, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
it was an
Thank you,
absolute pleasure,
sir.
man.
Thanks for having me.
And once again, it's just like, can't wait to see your project develop, and we're really
Yeah.
happy to be partnering with you guys.
Yeah, me too. Look forward to.
All right. Till next week. See you later.
Bye.